pretty strong for Genji, who did end up winning on the blue side here, so a little bit more bans they can afford on red side.
Yeah, so the classic bans that we used to see, like the AYs that would always come out, well, it's going to be still an A.
Yeah, A.
As we do have double A's coming on through here. I'll see whether we get triple A, make the battery a little smaller.
Annie ban?
No, it's up. We're just going to get up happening here. As the Pantheon band on blue side is kind of curious. I feel like the Jarvan stocks are what are through the roof right now.
Genji can still ban it in third position here now. And the Nico is banned again, this time by T1, as they don't want to B1 it, but don't want to give a strong rotation over to Genji on red side. I think it's warranted to ban Jarvan here.
Yeah,
I think it's just that strong right now.
I think it's the ban that you have to be taking away at this point in time. It does mean possibly giving away Keria's Bard or something like that, but is that first pick priority? I'm not entirely sure. We'll just have to see what they do decide to go with. The Bard will be banned. That is a lot of respect for Keria, understandably so. But I do think the Jarvan is such a pivotal pick, and that will be snapped up without too much hesitation here by Oner.
Now, I suppose they're kind of thinking about the fact that the Orianna is gone. They're less. It just feels less bad to give the Jarvan in this scenario, but a lot of jungle bans here. Obviously, the Fearless bans on top of it. I do wonder now what canon will play into this, as the Qiyana early in the draft is a little bit scary. I was straight up going to mention I see the hover. It makes me very nervous, as we have not seen this pick find success. I like Annie a lot more, but I'm still going to play Annie Qiyana.
Annie Qiyana sounds...
setup.
Yeah, that sounds pretty scary. And some of the issues that we've seen with the LCK Qiyana is landing ultimates. It's easier to land them if your target's already stunned. So maybe the Chovy Canyon 1-2 punch is going to be enough here, but Faker is on his famous rise as the response. And T1, I mean,
Sivir?
As far as Fearless Box concerned, this is looking pretty powerful. The Alistar even coming on through there, giving Keria so much playmaking power.
I thought we were just going to see the classic Sivir rise. Special value decently high here for T1, and the side lane pressure the Rise has, plus the wave clear, the Sivir can be so strong. You already have the Jarvan on your side, but they go for the Alistar instead for its flexibility in team fights. Ooh. And Keen just gonna blind the Scion. A pretty safe blind pick in a draft like this, and we'd have the whole top side locked away here for the side of Genji. They can protect this Scion pick now with their bans. You know, Aatrox, Renekton, these picks have been quite strong into it at the moment.
Yep, certainly some things that you can remove. I think you have to ban Sivir as well, with the fact that you can't pick it up because there's a Jarvan on the other side.
It's quite a tricky situation here for Genji now.
Yeah, and they are pretty short range. I mean, I think everyone is short range at this point in time. The Gwen going to be taken away first, and the Rakan going to be removed. I actually half expected the Rakan to be the third pick, just because T1 had already locked away their support. You know, you could just go for it. We know that Annie Rakan is so powerful. T1 recognizing that, but surprising that the Scion did get priority locked in instead of that. Still, they're able to protect it. We'll see whether it is going to work out.
A pick that skirmishes well, and there's the Sivir, and that works really well with Genji's comp here, AD carry-wise, is this area, actually, at this point in time, with the Alistar already locked in. It's kind of difficult to lock her down because she can just dash away from the Cataclysm, and they have such good frontline for her anyways, and a lot of skirmishing power for her to get online early. Like, this is another angle where you'd love to see, like, Yunara, obviously it's banned away, but it's a similar type of AD carry that skirmish as well. They banned the Kai'Sa instead here. So let's see, I mean, the other picks you could look for here with this is like even Jinx, right? There's a lot of skirmishing power here and reset potential. Ruler looks very excited about whatever it's going to be.
The Grin really did worry me there just a little bit. We'll see what he does decide to lock away, as of course they could take a support because they've already seen the Alistar, right? So Duro could be locking in his pick. Camera Guy feeling the same way as we do get a bit of a zoom in.
Yeah, and then you can wait and see, but instead it'll be Jhin.
Just the pick away of the Jhin, not allowing Gumayusi to play one of his most successful champions. If that is indeed locked in, and there it is, we wait until the very end of the timer before that one does come down.
That's a fairly risky pick here. I'm not a big fan of it. I like what it would have been for T1, as you mentioned, kind of a pick away here, but not a lot of consistent damage unless this Qiyana gets online in this draft here for Genji. Ziggs, maybe the answer for Guma, a pick that he has traditionally avoided, but played it recently in playoffs, and is looking to play it again here in this bottom 2v2 with the Alistar.
It's interesting because Gumayusi has played a lot of Ziggs actually.
Yeah.
It's in sort of his like top 15 picks or something like that. He's sitting at like a 56% win rate, something like that on the champion, but just hasn't necessarily been known for it more recently and hasn't found a lot of the pivotal game success on the champion. It's going to be Misfortune locked in instead as the Aatrox to be the answer.
I much prefer the Aatrox here when you're running MF. Just a little bit of an extra threat, and with Sundered Sky, you can't go wrong on this pick on flanks. So difficult to kill the flanking Aatrox in a draft like this. Plus, you have Realm Warp to play around. This draft is really multifaceted here for T1, and I think it's going to be hard to sell me on this draft for Gen G with any support pick they go with here in that final spot in bottom lane.
I'm expecting Leona.
Yeah.
Because there's an MF. So they are just going to lock that one in. It is going to be, like, if this Gen G composition gets rolling, it is very scary. Especially with the fact it's the Kiana. It hasn't won yet here in the LCK. Let's get onto the Rift.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 2. And all we want is for every single game to be like game 1. That would be great. I'd like alternating winners each time until game 5, in which case anyone can win. It's fine. We just need 5.
Well, Atlas,
that would be the best.
I think if you're the Kiana team, you're hoping it's not like game 1. Because if you're falling behind with this draft, it's not as easy to get back into the thick of things. And my personal take, we've talked about this a little bit on the space as to why Kiana is not doing as well in the LCK, is because the LCK is such a calculated region where team fights are often decided before they break out based on numbers, based on who's got vision control, based on who's set up to engage and who's not. So it's hard to just scrap with Kiana. We saw... This could be a trap.
Yeah, Duro is in a lot of trouble. The headbutt pushes him back as he gets the stun onto Gumayusi, but even though he's not going to die or use flash, it is kind of massive because these minions are already here, and the Leona already doesn't have very much health bar.
Another one
walks out.
No, I'm not going to actually look for anything with this. And the Kiana, I think that we saw like one good Kiana ultimate this whole playoffs. Right?
I think Raptor had some good games, or a good game. He didn't win, but it looked like he went 3-0 at the beginning. Very Raptor-esque, of course. As Ruler is...
The game I'm thinking of is the game where Oner played Kiana and to Hano Life Esports in the Smolder game, and they won that first team fight on Grubs, and he had phenomenal ult. He split the team in half. And those are the kind of scrappy fights you don't get too often in the LCK, so it's hard to generate a lead. It is going to be Electrocute here for Canyon, not First Strike. We've seen both... different runes here to try to generate gold with the First Strike, but the burst damage that Electrocute gives you, I think, is just far superior, and I think we've seen a big pivot across the LCK towards that, as Oner is
the level
3 Jarvan.
That's a bit scary. How about Polv does bring Keria in there as we started off the fight. Gen G get the information, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough as the flash out from Duro. The flash forward, the sidestep is not good enough, and that is first blood. The Jarvan just gets it done every game.
It's crazy what Jarvan can accomplish at level 3, one of the strongest junglers at this, and
the wave state is doomed right now.
It's actually unplayable, and Ruler, he's not going to have, like, even if Canyon tries to come down here and support, he'll mess up his farm, by the way, which he needs so desperately, and I don't know if he's really going to be able to fix this, so yeah, this is also the losses that we have. 4 games at Kiana, she's 0-4. That Oner game, he had that fantastic ult early, but they got outscaled by the Smolder. I think that was the best. Jarvan, by the way, he's kind of winning.
Yeah, he's doing the other thing.
Remember that Raptor game? Remember that Cuz game? Remember that Oner game? Yeah, those a lot of really good games at Jarvan in playoffs.
Yeah, he did get a pentakill. And it was the guy that's playing it right now that got said pentakill. I was really expecting the Jarvan to be the highest priority ban for Gen G. Obviously now, you know, they're not going to have to worry about it for the rest of the series. They already have a 1-game buffer in this one. There are reasons to let it go through and let things happen, but I'm still a little bit concerned. Every loss is dangerous, and T1, when they get momentum, are such a scary team. It is a big risk to be taking. Let's just see, as this is Gen G, right? They are pretty good at knowing how to win. They've been doing a lot of it this year.
They certainly have. Canyon going to go over here with the ward he has and actually start to steal some of these camps away. This is a great way to play the Kiana. It's just hard farm. Don't interact with lanes.
Oh, God.
Not again.
Bottom lane getting absolutely punished. The teleport in from Faker towards his bottom side as Gumayusi does have to flash, as Deadly Flourish will be avoided. The fourth shot not going to be enough, and he just reloads at him and dies.
And that's another huge win here for T1, set up by Keria once again on the bottom side with this Alistar pick. He picked it up early, it was blind, and it has gotten insane value here in this game already. And you know what, cross-map-wise, like, got some Raptors for Canyon on the Kiana, but otherwise not able to impact the play here. Obviously the top side, Aatrox's favorite as well. And like Duro's just trying to hold this wave, and Keria says no, at least I'll take one minion away.
He is at least able to hold the majority, so that is something. And Faker did give up a fair bit. You can see it's 44-26 in the mid lane. That's why we don't see a complete ballooning of the gold. But, I mean, if at first you succeed, try again, I think is the saying. That's how it works, right? As Gen G do have vision, so they know that Oner's here. They know that he's being rude and just camping their lane over and over again. But there's not a whole lot they can do about it. Doran turns up towards his bottom side, and they don't quite manage to get the crash.
No, not quite. There's going to be a big discrepancy in farm if this continues, obviously, where the Kiana will start to really pull ahead in terms of that farm. But with the impacts we've seen already from this Jarvan, might not matter. It's just another great play from Keria. As you mentioned, kind of out of bullets.
Yeah.
Not hit the target he was looking for there. And that's a kill over to Guma. As Chobi's going to drop a bear.
Yeah, bear does fall down onto Faker here. Drop bears are real. We have confirmation. And Keria comes over, Cal versus bear, but it looks like Tibbers is going to be taken care of here. Good range knowledge by Chobi.
You have the advantage in the bottom 2v2. You have the Aatrox winning the lane into the Scion and the pressure there. Almost a stopped back there onto Ruler as well. And the early tempo lead that T1 holds right now is pretty massive.
Oh, Dura making his way over here as Keria and Faker are just losing this 3v2 in the mid lane, including Tibbers, of course.
You know, Guma doesn't need Keria to be topside if he's just going to push a free wave in. It took Ruler so long to get out of that bottom lane. He's going to miss a few minions here on the top side, and the lead for Guma continues to be there. And so, yes, that was a really strong tempo ult from Chovy, but Keria just kind of bails Faker out, and it doesn't necessarily really amount to all too much.
Yep, you can see that the 500 gold lead, though, that Chovy does have is mitigating a lot of the advantage that T1 put together. It was about 800 before, now it's only 300 as far as the advantage is concerned. One away from Feats of Warfare, though, as we are still yet to see this Hextech Dragon go down. Second game in a row with a Hextech as Dragon #1. I do think that we should get Infernal Mountain Cloud at least once today. Because it is the 21st of September and it's very important to me that we do honor that. But that's okay. Maybe we can just groove tonight. It's fine. As Keen and Doran doing battle against one another. Keen kind of just getting thrown around like a ragdoll and does have the Bramble Vest, so feels pretty good about that.
Yeah, he does. At the end of the day, Doran's still going to put some pressure on him here and is actually looking to heal up a little bit and continue to do so. No jungler to impact this bottom lane. As we trade again, Doran...
It does feel like Doran has to work so much harder to do stuff.
It really does, and I think that's 100% accurate. But he's trying to get cookies out.
He is still doing stuff.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. As the Roar of the Slayer does come on down, Canyon moving in as the flash comes out. The flash to follow, but Canyon misses the stun. And Doran's able to get out. Man, his early navigation of ganks has been so good this series.
Yeah, Canyon with a bit of a whiff there, commits his flash as well. And, you know, it's just a free escape there from Doran. It still will lead, though, to Canyon being able to pick up this first dragon here on the bottom side of the map. See, Oner is rotating around here, grabbed first grub, and is now actually looking to try to take Ruler out of the picture here. Has Cataclysm.
Yep, Keria is going to ult early, picks up the aggro, and the barrier not quite going to be enough there, as there are Feats of Warfare picked up, as Faker in a little bit of trouble here, trying to rotate up to help out, as Molten Shield from Chovy comes in. Oh, the final auto is not enough to lock down the kill. He was almost a cool guy not looking at an explosion, but instead, there was no explosion.
Yeah. Calculated, I suppose you could say, from Faker there. Gets away. But it's still a successful play there on the top side. Great aggro setup. The kill goes over to Oner ultimately in the end. That last tick of damage from Guma does not actually get the kill. But I think Oner kind of likes taking the kills in this situation. I don't think they feel too bad about it. We've seen what this guy could do with Jarvan. Ruler tries to get back away from the turret here. The aggro is already picked up, though, by Keria. He's taken out by Oner with the Cataclysm. He's just a sitting duck in this scenario. See, the ulting Scion comes over to try to patch the hole. Faker does get caught, though, on rotation.
Yeah,
Realm Warp denied.
Tried to get in there, was unable to do so. It did cost Chovy his flash to make it happen. His phase rush is broken.
Yeah, it's crazy. He still gets out. Like, when I watch this replay, I'm like, are we sure he gets out? Does just barely get away.
Didn't quite have the electrocute back, I guess. So just wasn't quite enough damage there from Chovy. Little unfortunate. Not end of the world or anything like that here for Gen G thus far, but...
Umbral Glaive start here for Canyon, by the way. That is not normal.
That is not what we have been seeing.
Axiomark and Profane Hydra has been the build with the reduced cost on both items. You kind of save 600 gold from what you used to, and
Umbral Glaive is just such an incredible utility item.
It really is. And if you're trying to control the map and constantly control tempo, first of all, it's not going so well so far, but like at least I could maybe help you get back in it. It's a relatively cheap item as well, the Umbral Glaive, and pretty stat efficient for its cost. But yeah, we just keep dropping bears.
Yep. And Roller tried to go for the invisible Deadly Flourish. Doesn't quite work out there. As Doran, this time with no flash, and he is just dead. That was a supreme display of nothing that he could have done about it.
Yep. And that's a good Kiana ult. Okay.
Yeah. Nailing the first one. There we go.
1 for 1 so far, and that's putting her a little bit further accelerated in this game.
As there's the Cataclysm onto Chovy. Remember, he used that flash earlier on. He's trying to get Tibbers to get some value here, but it's just not going to work out. That's a very strong Jarvan to take down the Annie. Canyon a little bit slow, picking this one up. They'll take themselves the plate, and Canyon will be able to clear out these minions. I mean, but it's still looking good for T1.
A third kill, gets Tibbers, gets a plate. So yes, Canyon had the successful play there on the top side, but this was a big win for the side of T1. Faker gets the assist, gets a little bit of plate gold as well. That gold deficit shrunk massively after Chovy is shoved out of this lane. And, you know, another successful move here by Oner. Sees the opportunity with Canyon there deep on the top side to find an angle. Knows the flash is down. Looks like a back was stopped here, I believe.
Yep, another back interrupted. Nicely done. So we're going to check this one out one more time.
And look at where Oner is right now, by the way. He's just a little bit too far away to actually save Doran, and then he just runs straight to the mid lane as fast as he can. And Chovy underestimates his engage range here. Look at how far back Chovy was. Still not far back enough. And he was trying to let the wave push into him, but ends up dying because it's a cannon wave to grab the plate as well on top of it.
And it just shows picking the Annie into the Jarvan is a risk, because he can just press R on you.
Again!
As, another bear comes down and another knock-up comes on through here from Oner as Chovy. Just free food for Faker. That's 5-1 in advantage here for T1. And your 0-1 for Oner.
Your big gold lead is just completely gone now. And now it's a lead for Faker in the mid lane. And this Jarvan, once again, I mean, you said it. We thought we'd see this one banned pretty much every game. Incredible that in this best of 5, Oner's able to get his hands on it, and he is just making such a huge impact once again. This immobile, flashless Annie in the mid lane.
And it's not like they have like the Yunara from last game to bail them out, right? It's a Jhin, it's a utility pick in the bottom lane for Ruler.
Exactly.
He is not going to be that secondary carry. So much was on Chovy's shoulders already, and Annie was already a little bit more of a utility pickup, right? Like this game is now resting on Canyon's shoulders to get this work done.
And I just don't think he can in this game anymore. And like, it's a lead for Keen on Scion. No, that's something.
There you go.
Right? But where's the damage going to be? That's the big question. Is Faker's going to get stronger and stronger as this game goes on? And like,
I've seen this one before, as Chovy didn't have flash, but is able to walk his way out of it this time around. They're now looking for Duro, who does have a blast cone to help him out.
I don't know if Faker will really miss that Realm Warp before this upcoming fight because they have full prio, but bit of a whiff.
Another bear comes down here as the Rune Prison comes on in. Oner moving back though, so Canyon is going to back away. Some Spell Flux connects, but otherwise not too much more. The Flash 4! And it's going to be the bear coming down. Faker will be punished as Keria comes on through. Oner just gets out of there though, protecting that shutdown gold. And Keria is going to have to flash, but I just don't know whether that's going to be enough as he's running, and that is going to be able to get him to safety. Guma was just left alone though, with this bottom out of turrets.
He is going to get some plate gold here, and with this wave thinning out, I think this is going to be a trade up in terms of the turrets here for the side of T1. Canyon, of course, starts this dragon up. Oner does have flash and could look for a steal potential here. Duro's holding the gate, though, not allowing him to get in. Guma comes over, really greedy here.
Yeah, that is going to be the dragon coming on through. No Zenith Blade to land here from Duro, who is a bit far up, but it isn't going to be too much of an issue. But every time Gen.G are going for something, there's someone on T1 breaking their stuff.
Exactly. So Oner doesn't go for the steal there, is unsuccessful at stopping the dragon. They walked up with the misfortune. I was a little bit worried as, oh, we're not done yet.
Yeah.
Okay, we should be done though, I think.
I think we are,
yeah.
Candy's going to be able to take down the Grump.
But yeah, like the bottom turret goes over. Feats of Strength get picked up here by T1, and then Doran smacks the turret and takes 2/3 of its health bar away with the grubs that he has in the ensuing play. Initially here, Faker is totally fine, right? Does have his flash available. The combo comes out from Chovy, he just walks away. But then here, walking back up with Oner, bit of a bridge too far, I think, on this one, as Duro is also here, and it's a big stun from Chovy. Bit greedy here on the side of T1's mid laner.
Yeah.
They've just walked towards the dragon to look for a setup play instead. Punished by Chovy. But then, you know, the misfortune in the bottom lane picks up a ton of gold. Aatrox gets some serious work done on the top side, and T1 are set up for this Herald now.
And this is going to be a difficult one for Gen.G to contest. Deadly Flourish onto Keria, but he's not too worried about that. Has the Unbreakable Will, is now Canyon looking for an angle. He's getting in amongst it. The curtains have been called as he flashes out of the way of the Cataclysm. Duro going down very low. Gumayusi doing so much work. T1's health bars are getting lower. Keen right in amongst it, but Chovy not quite doing enough. Ruler just getting soloed out by Doran, and he will be able to finish that one off. Chovy in the back of the pit is just dead to the bullets of Guma, and T1 are just running the rift. Outside of Keen being quite frustrating, but he'll be zombified and taken out himself. A monstrous win here for T1.
Yeah, very haphazard setup from Gen.G as well. When we watch the replay, I want everyone to watch Canyon's ultimate as he goes in onto Faker. Like, this Kiana pick is 2-0 on 2 items and is just not able to get anything done in this team fight. Guma's untouched, massive value with his ultimate, and then just his straight up auto attacks do a ton of work here. He's 3,000 gold ahead now of Ruler. Watch this angle onto Faker Kiana finds. He's like, oh, Keria in the backline, I've got him. Faker's just like, I'm not really that interested, actually.
Yeah.
That's the best you got?
And if you don't hit terrain, it just doesn't feel like it does very much of anything at all.
Ruler doesn't have access to follow up, so now the fight is just completely split. Doran isolates and kills the AD carry by himself, while the other side of the fight is a complete wash. And this is why, to me, the LCK setups are just too strong for the Kiana pick to work. Why we're seeing it, in my mind, continue to fail. As you don't have a great target there, you don't have otherwise great CC or lockdown. The Jarvan setup, he's got, you know, tons of mobility, great CC. Now as Sundered Sky's had it for a long time, and Oner is super fed in this game, and they're gonna get this mid turret. T1's 3rd turret of the game.
Man, look at all those Banelings. That's it's a lot of devastation here being provided by T1. 5,000 gold is the lead as Keria is going to interrupt a Q. That was pretty cute. Gets a headbutt onto Keen here at the same time, who does ult to get himself out of the way. Keria taking a fair bit of damage, but it's another charge from Shelly.
Yeah, maybe if he hit the turret, it could have been a little bit more high value. Is Kiana 1v1?
Yep, I'm not against Doran. That is not going to work as he does break the chains this time around. But yeah, Doran is so scary on this Aatrox right now. Level 12 and 2-1-0. He's got a little bit of a gold advantage against the Scion now as well, as Duro is dead. Fake of Realm Warps in, but it is just going to be the kill going over to Oner. And, I mean, this is much worse than the gold lead that T1 had in the first game.
Yeah, in the first game, it surfed around like 1,500 for a while, got up to like 2,400, and it was a lot of win cons for Gen.G that were kind of sitting in the incubator, right? Like that Ruler late game, Yunara was brewing, the side laning Camille was there. In this draft, you got a 2-0 Kiana that looks invisible, and you have a Jin that's 0-3 and 3,000 gold behind, but I don't know if the Scion or the Annie is really going to patch those holes, and it's a lead in gold, but it's also a massive tempo lead, and there's just so many more win cons in this draft for T1 than they had last time. They've got the Realm Warp, they've got the side lane angle, they've got triple grubs they've been utilizing incredibly well in this game, really from their AD carry as well as their solo laners this game, and Gen.G are just so far behind the 8 ball. Like, Duro keeps getting caught just trying to get any semblance of vision as Faker may be caught.
Well, the flash is going to come on through. Double teleports invested as Oner is going to find Keria. There's the headbutt over the wall. Ruler in so much trouble. Deadly Flourish goes wide, and he is just dead, ladies and gentlemen. It looked like it was going to be a play from Gen.G, but T1 just turned it on its head.
Another ult from Canyon that just completely does nothing in the attempt to try to peel for his teammates there, but Keria's flank. Chef's Kiss on this Alistar, 8 out of 11 KP this game. He has run it from start to finish. The Rift belongs to him and all of these fed T1 members as Faker takes a gold lead over Chovy with the destruction of that turret, and now it is all T1 colored around the map. No semblance of control for the map here outside of a small side laning Annie here for Chovy. As it looks like initially like, oh, Faker's caught, but this is the traditional Faker overextending question mark. Haha, now we win the fight, we baited you in.
Triple TP, everyone teleporting into the fight, and Keria just takes the AD carry, and Ruler, I mean, I don't think he started playing the game, but he's definitely not going to play the game in this one.
And has Canyon played the game in this one?
He's farmed. He has almost the most farm on his team, only losing out to Chovy, and he did have a slight lead in that department a little bit earlier on. It's kind of ridiculous. So if the game is Farming Simulator, yes, he's been playing the game.
Yeah, it is...
Oh, it's League of Legends, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's my bad.
Power Wash Simulator has been... You know, it's been the talk of the casting team recently. Some particular casters really enjoy that one.
I mean, that's the Achilles game.
Yeah, I wasn't going to name any names, but...
have we just outed him as the Power of Simulator guy?
Nothing wrong with enjoying Simulator.
I think I've never thought of him as being feeling ashamed about it.
I mean, like Canyon, I've considered Farming Simulator actually like about twice a year. I do consider to pick up Farming Simulator 2025. Like, it looks really fun. I don't know if I really have time for that, but it looks really fun.
Yeah, there's something satisfying.
I don't know if it'll make a positive impact on my life in any way. I like to play more narrative-based games. I'm playing through Metal Gear Solid right now, but...
Oh, really? Bit of a blast from the past. Oh, the newer one?
No, the old one. The PS1. You know me.
That's far more...
I play new games
That's far more wolf. I know that there was a new one, though, that came out.
Yeah. Which is why I'm playing the first one, because I want to do 1, 2, and then hit Snake Eater. But Turret Eater is T1 down in the bottom lane. As they give Otacon up, they're going to get the Constellation turret here. They're scaling.
Yeah.
Just don't know if they should be. They're so far behind.
Oh, Deadly Flourish comes on in. It is going to be Otacon picked up by T1 very, very soon, but Gen.G are at least getting something for it.
Yeah, I mean, if they get double turret, that's a lot of gold, actually, over to Gen.G.
They will be losing this inner turret towards the top side of the map, so I don't see it necessarily being a phenomenal outcome.
It's not.
Gumayusi does take this.
It's not losing the game outright by trying to fight on Otacon, so keeps them in this game, so to speak. They're still 5,000 gold behind, and it's not a trade up, but I mean, they got Chovy some money.
Yep.
That's a good thing for, you know, maybe some miraculous comeback where we see a big ult from the Kiana here from Canyon, or, you know, Chovy's able to just output so much damage in the team fight where maybe Guma is caught or Faker is caught. You got to hope for that if you're Gen.G in this game, is maybe a big overextension. We saw that error from Faker decided the game in game 1. I think it's going to take a few more of those errors to get the lead that Gen.G pulled back in that comeback in game 1 this time, but maybe they'll make a mistake, and that's what you kind of have to hope for here as Gen.G.
And Canyon is very strong, just with the amount of farm that he has picked up. The fact that he is only 300 behind Oner, who is 405 right now, is kind of mind-blowing.
It's hard to kill targets, though, when you have this Bloodthirster MF, Faker obviously going for the Seraphs in this game, and will probably build Zhonya's third.
Yeah, he needs the follow-up, absolutely. As all of Gen.G are grouped up, let's see whether they can actually find a target. As Oner off to the side has been spotted. Keen tanking for a long time, though, and he's not going to be starting any fights at all. Cataclysm comes down. Oner just flashes out of the way of it. It's a lot of burst damage here from the Annie, but not full commitment. And Doran turns up and says, no! You are not allowed to fight, and they agree.
This time, Doran learned from not TPing until it was too late last time and say, I probably just be there just in case. And you know, if they walk away, I'll just go side lane in the top lane. And look at the map. Like, if you toggled the vision for Gen G, they can see like nothing outside of the base except Canyon dying. That's what they can see.
Canyon is the bullet. Oh, that was pretty cute. Getting the zoom in there as well, as Canyon is very close to dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's an understandable Yuumi.
Perfect KDA in this game, though.
Yeah.
Hasn't died yet.
He hasn't. You don't actually die very much in Farming Simulator, as it turns out. Not a very violent game.
Yeah, it's
not a violent one.
No real game over screens.
Not so much. Does have his Edge of Night now, so 3 items complete here for the Kiana.
And the MF, top damage in the game, that's not a good sign for the team that's playing into the MF.
Yeah, I would say that we put that in the Gen G cons column. Absolutely. Also, him having all the money, also a bad thing, I would say, for them. Definitely a good bounce back here from Gumayusi, who had a bit of a rough one in game 1.
You know, Oner's 600 gold ahead because, yeah, Canyon's been farming the jungle. He's been farming the champions.
Yeah.
And now there is no jungle for Canyon. He can't get out of his base.
Sometimes violence is a little bit more lucrative. That's what I'm learning here today.
Duro.
As Duro's going to face check, he has to be the one to do so, and unfortunately he's dead. Very dead. If there were certain degrees of dead, he would be one of the high degrees of dead from that one. As it turns out, I'm pretty sure it's just, you know, it's just dead.
So maybe this will be the last Kiana game of LCK playoffs. That's what I'm hoping for, Atlas.
No, I just don't think it is. If it's still being played now, I think it's just going to keep getting played. It just must be really fun. It must be doing a lot of good things in scrims. You know, that's what I'm expecting. But also, it's doing a lot of winning in the LPL, right? Like, we know that it can win.
In other regions where they play very differently, I think it's very strong. And I also think that with how LPL teams play, if they clash with LCK teams, they'll have a better understanding of how to utilize the pick. Unfortunately, LCK just has not figured it out yet, and
it does kind of go back to the stakes of this series as well. If the playstyles are so different between regions, it's very dangerous for either T1 or Gen G to be playing in that play-in best of 5, because you could just travel to China and then be there for like a few games and then go home. Like, and for Gen G or T1 to be one of those teams, that just sounds ludicrous.
One of those Chinese junglers might teach you how to play Kiana on your way out as well.
Yeah. You could just ask Kanavi, perhaps, something like that. I hear that guy's pretty good at playing carries.
And I mean, you could just see, unfortunately for Gen G, like, they're just catching waves and hoping for T1 to make an error, and T1 is just not going to give them the pleasure. Keria will avoid this Q. That's all she can avoid.
Deadly Flourish actually doing a fair bit of work here, but Keria not even pressing the ult button, just looking to try and set up for a bit of a catch on to Keen, perhaps. He's put into the Cataclysm, flashes out immediately, breaks the chains. They're now going to need to go back, and doesn't have his flash now for the upcoming fight. Baron going to be on the minds of T1. They're doing their very best to lock down vision control. There is a cute little ward here in this brush, giving Gen G a little bit of information, as in goes Oner. Deadly Flourish just to spot what's happening in that brush there, but it looks like Gen G are not going to be face-checking just yet.
Okay, this is...
Oh dear, never mind. Maybe they will go in. There's the Zenith Blade from Duro. He didn't really want to be there, and Oner is going to be able to take him down. The Supreme Display of Talent is decent, but not quite good enough, as down goes Tibbers as well. Chovy doing battle against Faker here, who flashes to pick up the kill on his opponent mid laner. And now Keen finds his way into the fight, and he's going to take the death exit this time around after being a zombie for just a little while. And the curtains are not being called for Ruler. I think they will actually be called for Ruler, as now Oner is going to be making his way over and looking to try and take him down. The Realm Warp comes in. The Flag and Drag doesn't do too much of anything as the Aatrox delivery comes on through. And Gumayushi's like, guys, why don't we just win the game?
They're helping and keeping the players from going back so they can win the game. That's what's happening. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's a little bit of
Doran
something like that.
Up.
As they're doing their very best to kite Doran around here, who doesn't actually get the heal from the Redemption, as Canyon looking to block off the next two that are making their way over. Deadly Flourish is decent here, as this is some yakety sacks coming on through here, as Canyon trying to get himself out. They have regrouped though, and in comes the cow! Keria going to be able to deliver a double kill over to Gumayusi, and that was a weird little passage of play that ultimately it's going to be even more winning for T1 as it's given players like Duro the opportunity to respawn before they win this game.
It almost feels like a psychological warfare move here from T1 as they just smash them over and over again before the Nexus falls.
Yeah.
And Atlas, we knew we would, but we have a series on our hands now.
It was already all over our hands after game number 1, and it is now being confirmed as T1 will make this one a best of 3. Game 2, Oner on Jarvan. We saw it last time out.